I'd start with the current global metals and minerals environment, which really reminds me of the past 20-15 years, when the mining industry stalled after a very good run, compounded this time by inflation pressures and a few or no new discoveries and a chaotic global order. Then, as now, it is plagued by the obsessive short-termism of governments and investors alike, who demand instant gratification and reach for immediate solutions, dismissing the long-term nature of mining. Whether you're building a sustainable business or a better world, you need carefully considered strategies and practical plans to achieve one's goal. Whether that's the global transition to renewable energy or a business that creates and delivers real value to all its stakeholders, wishful thinking won't get you there. That's why Barrick has a long-term vision of its future and a strategy which is organically designed to deliver value today and growth tomorrow by building real partnerships with our host countries and other key stakeholders. Since the merger in 2019, we've replaced 125% of our reserves. Looking to the future, as demonstrated, we expect reserve replacement and our organic growth projects to increase production by some 30% gold equivalent by the end of the decade. My introduction to the Africa and Middle East regions part of the presentation has been the same every quarter, and it's no different this quarter. The region has been Barrick's most consistent performer since the merger. It's also a highly prospective exploration destination and a core growth engine for the group. The Loulo-Gounkoto complex in Mali delivered its usual strong performance and fully deserves its place in our Tier 1 portfolio. It has an exemplary record of consistent reserve replacement, and ongoing brownfields exploration indicates that it's likely to sustain this. Deep framework drilling is currently testing for repetitions of the high-grade Yalea system. And elsewhere on the site, new high-impact targets have been identified, while a project-wide review has highlighted opportunities along strike and south of Yalea and at depth at Gounkoto and Boboto. The greening of the complex grid continues, with Phase 2 of its solar farm scheduled for completion before the end of this year. Barrick is Africa's largest gold miner, and Kibali the continent's largest gold mine. It has recovered well from a slow start to this year and is on track to meet its guidance, as well as to replace depleted reserves again. Kibali is a leader in automation and mining and a poster child for renewable energy. Since operations began, we have built 3 hydropower stations at Kibali. Together, these stations currently meet more than 70% of the mine's electricity needs. Once its 16-megawatt solar facility with battery storage is commissioned, the mine's electricity needs will be met entirely from renewable energy for 6 months of the year, reducing its greenhouse gas emissions by over 19,000 tons of CO2 equivalent annually. The 2 Tanzanian mines' production were lower than in the previous quarter, but this is in line with their plans, and they remain on track to meet their guidance for the year. In order to sustain their combined Tier 1 profile for decades to come, North Mara plans to extend its life through an optimized pit plan, while the strategy of brownfields growth continues to deliver at both North Mara and the long-life Bulyanhulu. There is still great potential for world-class discoveries around our operations and further afield within the Africa and Middle East region. These are some of the many opportunities, from Zambia in the south to Saudi Arabia in the north. With its wealth of resources and our strong partnerships there, Tanzania is a particularly strong candidate for our next million-ounce discovery. In Zambia, the expansion of Lumwana is, along with the Reko Diq project, another of our key growth projects, and together they will make Barrick a major league copper producer, complementing our peerless Tier 1 gold portfolio. We've accelerated its feasibility study for completion towards the end of next year, with construction starting in 2025 and 2026 targeted for first production, mirroring Reko Diq's timetable. Lumwana's 50 million tonne per annum process plant expansion, coupled with the planned super pit, will lift copper production to some 240,000 tonnes of copper per year over a minimum of 36-year life of mine, and several additional targets are expected to extend this mine life further. Our other copper mines, Jabal Sayid in Saudi Arabia and Zaldívar in Chile, both delivered consistent production. Jabal Sayid, a joint venture between Barrick and Ma'aden, is serving as a springboard for expanding our very successful partnership. New permits around the mine are being brought to account, and we're expanding our focus beyond the current Jabal Sayid catchment area and up to the Arabian-Nubian Shield, which we believe is poised to become a major new mining destination.